best players in the world. We have the best fans in the world. But right now, we have the worst leadership in the world.
I have great respect for Fee, and I think she made a lot of very valid points.
The WNBA just blew up with one of the wildest days in league history. Seriously, Caitlyn Clark has finally broken her silence on Commissioner Cathy Engelbert's absolutely hateful remarks about her, and what she revealed is so devastating, it could actually end Engelbert's career in the blink of an eye. So if you're with me and believe the league must punish the commissioner, hit justice for Clark in the comments below. But here's the crazy part, Engelbert is already caught in a massive firestorm because not just fans and players, but massive media figures like Stephen Smith, Christine Brennan, and Dave Portnoy have all jumped in to defend Caitlyn, and what they're demanding is crushing for the commissioner.
Cathy Engelbert needs to resign.
This is the dumbest league run by absolute morons. I've been saying it forever.
You don't act like that. You don't act like that. And she should apologize.
Now, with everyone already bashing the commissioner, what Caitlyn Clark has just said might be the absolute final nail in Engelbert's coffin. But what exactly did she say? Let me break it all down for you, but hold up. Before we dive into that, let's rewind to where this whole mess actually started. Just a few days ago, Napheesa Collier dropped an absolute bomb in her exit interview. She bravely took the courage to leak her private conversation with Commissioner Cathy Engelbert, and in that shocking reveal, she claimed Engelbert told her that Caitlyn Clark should be grateful to the league.
Her response was, Caitlyn should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court, because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything.
And trust me, it did not stop there. Napheesa went even further, revealing that Engelbert actually said other players should be on their knees for what their commissioner has done for them. Can you believe that?
And in that same conversation, she told me, players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal that I got them. That's a mentality driving our league from the top. We go to battle every day to protect a shield that doesn't value us.
Now this was an outright bombshell, and here's why it's a huge deal. Napheesa isn't just some random player, she's a respected star in the league. So if she's saying this, it carries serious weight. And that's exactly what happened the second this story broke. The internet exploded. Fans, players, coaches, literally everyone is losing their minds over this.
They made more money in college than most of your teams combined. They should be grateful. No, you should be grateful.
What's even wilder is that the WNBA itself actually had to step in with a pretty shocking statement about the whole thing.
The WNBA also issued a statement. They said Napheesa Collier is an outstanding leader and officer of this union. When Fee speaks, people listen. We are confident that her words today speak to the feelings and experiences of many, if not most, of our members. The leaders of the league and its teams would benefit from listening to her powerful statement.
But while the entire world was arguing and losing their minds, one person stayed completely silent, Caitlyn Clark. Not a single word, and that silence, well, it wasn't for long. Maybe she was just waiting for the perfect, most impactful moment to respond, because that's exactly what she just did. And her response. Oh, it's downright career-ending for Cathy Engelbert. But before we get to what Caitlyn said, let's quickly check out what Cathy herself had to say in reaction to Napheesa's reveal. Her response was incredibly short, almost cold. She said she respects Napheesa Collier, but was disheartened by how their private conversation was characterized. I mean, yeah, that's literally all she said.
I want to read Cathy Engelbert's statement back to Napheesa Collier. She said, I have the utmost respect for Napheesa Collier and for all the players in the WNBA. Together, we have all worked tirelessly to transform this league. My focus remains on ensuring a bright future for the players and the WNBA, including collaborating on how we continue to elevate the game. I am disheartened by how Napheesa characterized our conversations and league leadership, but even when our perspectives differ, my commitment to the players and to this work will not waver. There's no answers in this. I get it. I think this is just an immediate knee-jerk reaction, just trying to say, like, I'm disappointed with how she painted me, but there's no solutions here.
Now here's the juicy part. The thing everyone is whispering about right now. Even if Cathy's statement didn't really address the actual problem, the mere fact that she responded at all is almost like confirming the conversation was real, isn't it? which basically means what Napheesa said. It's true. That alone set the internet on fire once again, and Cathy Engelbert is now facing brutal questions about how she could possibly make such outright hateful remarks about Caitlyn Clark and frankly about every other player too.
They should be grateful for the money that they're getting. They should be on their knees thanking of it. What? What? And that's the response that you give? What kind of defense is that? Was she lying? Cathy Engelbert? Did you say that about Caitlyn Clark or did you not?
And just when the league was already boiling, right at the peak of all this chaos, Caitlyn Clark finally broke her silence. She dropped her response to Cathy Engelbert, and trust me, this was the moment everyone had been waiting for. So Caitlyn Clark just had her exit interview after her team was unfortunately knocked out of the semifinals. And this itself was a big deal because Caitlyn finally came on camera after weeks of being away with her injury. But what she said in that interview was something no one saw coming. First, she finally cleared the air on her injury, revealing it was actually her ankle. Well, let's just say thanks to Caitlyn for finally letting us know the exact injury that kept her out for the whole season.
Caitlyn, what's the status of your health right now, and what specifically injury-wise between the ankle and the groin was it that prevented you from coming back this year?
Yeah, honestly, I've been working really hard to get back to full health, and I feel like probably over these last couple of weeks is when I've probably started feeling my best. Obviously, my ankle kind of didn't allow me to really see where my groin was at.
But then, right after that, she addressed the Napheesa Cathy private conversation that literally shook the league. And guess what? She flat out said Collier made a lot of very valid points. Wow.
Wanted to see after Napheesa's comments and what she alleged that Cathy Engelbert had said specifically about you, what your thoughts were on that, and have a follow-up.
Well, I mean, first of all, I have great respect for Fee, and I think she made a lot of very valid points. And, I think what people need to understand, we need great leadership in this time across all levels. This is straight up the most important moment in this league's history. This league's been around for 25 plus years, and this is a moment we have to capitalize on.
Now, honestly, Caitlyn's response to this was pretty measured, because as you know, she is a star player and always tries to stay subtle. But then, she dropped a really strong line. She said it all with her word.
So that's honestly what I would say. I think Fee said it all with what she said, and I think the points she made were very valid.
But that's not all that went down. The very next question she was asked was that same stinging one, right? Whether all the big money she's making is actually because of the WNBA. And her response, well, let me tell you, it was completely satisfying.
Your popularity as a player obviously skyrocketed when you were in college and you had a lot of NIL opportunities and stuff. So I guess when you heard that, what was your reaction? Because it came off a little dismissive to your own brand and your own individual brand power, I guess.
These kids and what they're making in college these days is pretty insane. It's honestly probably more than what I made. Obviously, a lot has changed even since I've graduated. So I'm not 100% up to date on the exact numbers of what college kids are making. But, obviously I was very fortunate after my freshman year of college. That's when I began working with, different brands, and began working with Nike. And, everybody knows my first NIL deal was with Hy-Vee, the greatest grocery chain of all time, based in Des Moines, Iowa, baby. So best chocolate long johns around. But, I think that's the way in which, young women are coming into this league now with that type of, I don't even want to say it's money, but they're beginning to build their brands in college, and then they're bringing that to the WNBA. So I think that's just a way in which the league has changed and will continue to evolve.
She said the league had to evolve. Now, Caitlyn is such a sweet person at heart, and her answer showed it clearly. But here's what everyone online is really asking, right? Two simple questions. Is Caitlyn making money because of the WNBA, or is the WNBA making money because of Caitlyn? And at that exact moment, Christine Brennan came out with an absolute shocker in her CNN interview.
Acting the league, it's certainly what could be with the TV ratings has not happened. Last year, the highest rated playoff game, 2.5 million, going up to a peak of 3.4 million for Caitlyn Clark's second and last playoff game a full year ago. This year, they're in the 1 millions, 1.5. They're not going to reach 2.5 million. Caitlyn Clark, had she been playing last night in game 5 of that series, which Las Vegas did beat Indiana, that could have been 4 or 5 million, even going up against the baseball playoffs. Caitlyn Clark is it. She is by far the economic rocket ship of that league.
Honestly, that's the perfect answer to Cathy Engelbert's incredibly arrogant claim that Caitlyn should be grateful to the league. But here's where it gets even more shocking. Caitlyn herself revealed she had never even heard Engelbert's alleged remarks until Napheesa spoke up. And get this, Engelbert hasn't even bothered to contact her about them.
Had you heard that story from her before
No.
she said it publicly? And then have you spoken with Cathy Engelbert or heard from her at all since then?
No.
Thank you.
Yes, that's the kind of arrogance we're dealing with here. Cathy Engelbert shamelessly made those hateful remarks about Caitlyn Clark, but even when she was brutally exposed, she didn't even care enough to reach out to Caitlyn with an apology or an explanation. And guess what? If you've been watching the WNBA these past months, you already know Cathy probably has some kind of personal grudge against Caitlyn Clark. Maybe she just can't stand her popularity because again and again, Cathy finds ways to insult and disrespect her. Just rewind to the Rookie of the Year moments. When Paige Bueckers won, Cathy herself walked out under the bright lights, center stage, smiling, handing the trophy in front of all the cameras.
Now, the last person you thought you'd see on this full spirit tunnel, but I'm here to present you with the 2025 Kia WNBA Rookie of the Year Award.
But what did Caitlyn get last year when she won? Nothing but a cold phone call. It was basically, congrats, you're Rookie of the Year. Goodbye. Seriously.
That's it.
And is Caitlyn Clark in the room?
She sure is.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Feels like just yesterday when I called your name to the stage as the #1 pick in this year's draft. You held the Indiana Fever jersey for the first time, and what a record-breaking season for you and the entire team, full of outstanding performances, and I know all of you had hard work and dedication.
So now, after Napheesa's shocking revelation about Cathy's true feelings, every single slight against Caitlyn suddenly makes perfect sense. It's not random, it's clear as day that Cathy cannot stand Caitlyn Clark. And honestly, that's the biggest problem for the league, because if Cathy cannot stand Caitlyn, then fans cannot stand Cathy Engelbert as the WNBA commissioner. It's simple as that, and the internet is united on one demand: fire Cathy Engelbert.
Oh my man, fire this lady. Packer, how dare you? How dare you say something like that about Caitlyn Clark?
And honestly, that's truly the need of the hour. The WNBA is finally in its prime. The world is paying attention. And at this moment, when people are finally showing up to watch women's basketball, the league absolutely cannot afford this kind of poor and tone-deaf leadership. And what's wild is that's exactly the point Caitlyn herself made.
You know, like I said, we are in the biggest moment in WNBA history. There's no denying that. Everybody knows that. And everybody that's in a place in power has a true responsibility. And even myself, we have a responsibility to
see.
Every sane sports fan agrees with her. Seriously, just scroll through social media and see for yourself. Every big analyst, every major reviewer, they're all pointing out the same exact thing. Not the games, not the plays, but the ego-driven, careless leadership at the very top of the WNBA. Napheesa Collier, who risked her own career and even her relationship with the league, took the courage to reveal the biggest scandal inside the WNBA. And she's been saying the same thing, that there are genuine problems in this league. Problems that keep repeating again and again. Problems that only serious, fearless leadership can truly fix.
The real threat to our league isn't money, it isn't ratings, or even missed calls, or even physical play. It's the lack of accountability from the league office.
But she went even further. She basically said, look, we have the best player in the world, but when it comes to leadership, and then she implied, well, let's just say it's not looking good for the top brass.
We have the best players in the world. We have the best fans in the world. But right now, we have the worst leadership in the world.
But here's the thing, when it comes to strong, serious leadership, Cathy Engelbert just isn't the person anyone can trust. She's a commissioner who doesn't even respect her own league's biggest star. She completely ignores the skyrocketing ratings, the sold-out arenas, the overwhelming fan demand, or maybe she sees it all and just brushes it aside because of her own massive ego. Either way, she is the biggest threat to the league's future right now. Fans know it, players know it, the media knows it, and if the WNBA truly wants to grow, Cathy Engelbert absolutely has to go. What do you think?